Alright gang, we're going over the Pavlov VR tier list. S is the best, F is the worst. We're going from pistols to 50 cal, all the way through. So there are a couple guns that are not on the thing, but obviously I'll try to talk about them. B tier is the 1911 and the T-sided starting pistol, which is the Tokarev. I don't like the Tokarev as much as the 1911, so I would put it even lower than the 1911, but they are basically the same gun. 9 rounds, alright sights for the 1911. That's the reason I don't like the Tokarev. Not as good with the sights. 5-shot body shot, 1-tap headshot for unarmored players. For armored players, I have got kills with the 1911, but it's just not viable. I mean, if you have 0 money and you have to get 1 kill to get back up there and into the game, actually, it is okay if you rat in the corner and just hit 2 headshots instantly, which if you just spam your trigger really fast, that's pretty easy. But if you can't shoot fast for some reason, it's not viable. The M9 goes F tier. It is terrible. Don't see why you'd ever purchase this thing. It's 250 bucks. It's worse than the starting pistol. Just no reason to buy it. The sights, not very good. They're basically the same as 1911, just smaller dots, which I actually don't like. The only reason I could see anybody using this is if they only hit headshots and they only use it for a pistol round and they just want extra ammo, which I don't see why you would ever need extra ammo unless like it's really low ammo count, which 9 is not that bad, especially when you only need to get 1 or 2 kills and then rotate and reload. I just don't understand that, but you know, it's just F tier, I believe. Worst gun in the game. Glock is going A tier because it's a Glock burst mode. It used to be way better back then, but it's still really good. Burst mode's pretty good. You can almost full auto it. I think it has a 0.2 or a 0.5 delay in between burst, which if you figure it out, you can shoot it pretty fast still. If you hit it exactly on that little countdown, if you hit, it's still pretty good. But it used to be even better because you could almost full auto it. Not anymore. The Tech 9 is the Glock equivalent for T-side. I would consider it better than the Glock anymore because it is a 4-tap. And that just makes it insane. Obviously, they're both 1-tap headshot to unarmored, and I have seen people use these even after the first round if you win and they don't get appliant because they don't buy helmets usually, and that's just good. Why not? Why buy an extra weapon when you already have one? 5.7, it also goes in A tier. It will get moved down eventually because there will be other guns taking spot, but it's going to stay in A tier simply because it is a 5-tap body shot with 100% armor penetration. So 2-tap helmet, obviously, but it still takes 5 shots to the body, which is really good for a pistol, and it's 5 shots for an unarmored person. So that's pretty good for a pistol. We're going to Deagle, which is S tier, simply because it's the best pistol in the game. 3-tap body shot, no matter if they have armor or no armor, and a 1-tap headshot, whether they have helmet or no helmet, which is very good. The revolver is going C or D tier. I would put it in between them because it's almost a D tier. Reason is it only has 5 shots. The recoil is terrible. The sights are terrible. It takes 2 shots up close to kill someone, which that means up close. You have to be pretty close to get that 2-shot capability. After that, it is a 3-tap, which the recoil just makes it too hard to hit 3 shots instantly, basically. I would much rather have a Deagle. The recoil is a lot better. It comes back down a lot faster. The recoil on the Deagle is still bad, but the sights are automatically better, which just makes it a lot better. 3-tap also, from any range. I mean, theoretically, they should be closer together, but this has 8 shots, this has 5. The recoil is worse on this one, the sights are worse, so I'm putting it way down there. We should have another SMG. Where's the SMG? This one. This is going in F. This is better than the M9, but I just don't like the sights. I don't like how it has less ammo than the Uzi, which is why the Uzi is going in D tier and this is going in F. Now on to the UMP. The UMP is going in A tier, simply because the sights are good, the recoil is easy control. It's $1,200, which is great. $1,200 for a save round or a round where you know the enemy is going to have no helmet, that's really good. Now the MPX 1400, it is good, but I don't think it lives up to the ump, so it is not going up into the A tier. Same thing with the PP Bison. I think it is better than these two guns, but I just don't find me using it that much. It is basically the ump equivalent on the other side, the T side. The Draco, I don't personally like the Draco because it is 1600, and I don't like how your character holds it, and I don't like the sights too much. So that is why it's going in B tier. The sights are basically the same as the MPX. I just don't like it because of the price difference. $200 is still a lot, really. That is the difference between having no util and having util. So I just like the MPX better. They are separate sides, but at that point, just buy a PP Bison or a Deagle. Then on to the MP5. I don't like the MP5. I think it goes in C tier. I think it is better at these at some things, but I just don't like it. The sights are not very good. They're usable, but not great. The only reason I ever buy it is because it is MP5. Who doesn't want to use an MP5 every once in a while? The fire rate's pretty good. If they have no helmet, it's good. But if they have helmets, I don't actually. You know what? It's going up here. It is 1600, but I think it does deserve to go up here. Then on to the FAMAS. FAMAS used to be a lot better, but anymore it is not. So it is going into C tier. Back when it used to have a faster fire rate and more damage, it was a lot better, and the fall off wasn't as bad. It was a lot better, but it's just not good anymore. This is going in D tier. The P90, 50 rounds, yeah, that's good. Iron sights aren't terrible, but they're not great. Also, your left hand doesn't have no control of the gun, which kind of annoys me sometimes. So yeah. And then it's $2,700. Why would you ever want to make that purchase? There's so many better things you can buy. You could buy an AK. You can buy an M4 with that. Why would you want to choose a P90 over that? I don't get it. I don't see why you would ever buy this. But yeah, it's there if you really wanted to. Let's see. Let's go onto the Chris Vector. This thing's going D tier. Terrible, not good, and the worst. That's my 3 things I gotta say for my. The iron sights are alright. The mag I think has 31 bullets, which isn't bad, or 25, something like that, 26, something like that. It's not too ugly, and it has a skin on it if you have pre-ordered Shaq, but I just don't like it too much. So it's going in D tier for me. We should have shotguns. Yes, shotgun Spaz is going in F tier. Shouldn't need explanation. Sight ugly. The only reason I can see is if you want to be that guy from Jurassic Park. Only reason I can see why you want to have that. This same thing, but it is slightly better. But it's also a lot more money. $4,200. That is not worth it. A full auto shotgun. Who cares? I'm buying an AK. Like, there's no reason to buy this. Pump. C. Because it's only 1,500, which isn't terrible. It's alright to use. It's fun, especially if you're like ratting or you're with your friends playing the game. And that would be the only reason. Like if you all 4 run shotguns or something into a match. Don't know why you would do that, but it is fun. DB, I think it is viable. I think it's viable for if you're broke and you need a couple kills instantly. You're on Mirage, you push A site and you just run right into it. Like you're CT and you're on Mirage, you run into the place where they come from, main, and you kill 2 and maybe knife 1. Perfect gun. But ratting is a really good gun because it's 1 tap, but it only has 2 shots. So if for some reason, I've had this happen a lot, you might hit a guy right in the body, but for some reason the hit rate is terrible occasionally, and you only get like 3 or 4 pellets that actually connect. So it doesn't 1 tap, and then you only get to use your second shot to finish that guy, and that sometimes sucks. But other than that, it's pretty good. I don't believe there's no other shotguns, so we're gonna go into the sniper kind of things. Honey rifle, it's going mid B tier. I like it because you figure out how to rack that bolt fast, it's good. But if you're really slow for some reason with racking a bolt and getting back on your target, it's terrible. Or you can't hit heads. I can hit heads pretty well with the hunting rifle. It's pretty good. If you learn how to use it correctly and well, it's a good gun. Because it's only $1,600. Gives you a scope if you're good with the scopes. Um, I know a lot of people do take their sights off, which I find that a little bit weird. But some people like that. Don't know if you might, you might not. Depends up to you. Now onto the op. I think it is worse than the hunting rifle because it only does 90 damage or 80 damage. Not 100% sure. The only reason I ever buy this is if it's after a pistol round and we won and they didn't get a plant down. I'll push with the op sometimes and hold a angle. So because when they have no armor, it is a one tap, which makes it great. But once they have armor, it's kind of worthless. The only reason you could ever use this really is if you carry a 5.7 on you or a deagle, because after the op shot hits a body, that kind of sucks because it only does 80 to 90 damage. So you have to pull your pistol out and then try to kill him with the pistol after. So one tap basically. I just don't like that. This DMR, the Scar L, terrible. It's going in D tier, $3,500. Comes with an 8x, which I don't like the scopes too much. Sometimes they're good, like on the hunting rifle I like them, but on this one for some reason I don't. And I'm not purchasing another thing because that's already like that's 4,000 after that. And who's buying 4,000? Spending $4,000 on one gun? That's just crazy. Unless if it's an M4. SKS, it's going. I think it's right here. The SKS is 2,500 or 2,600, and it's basically just a Scar L, but with an ACOG, and for $1,000 cheaper. So I would much rather buy what is it called? An SKS over the Scar, just better. This is also an SMG. I forgot to rate it. I'm gonna put it like here. Has one of the faster TDKs, which is pretty good. It comes with an ACOG, which I don't like the ACOGs again too much. But yeah, it's pretty good. Fast time to kill. Alright, iron sights if you take the scope off. Galil. The Galil deserves an A. I think it's better than the Tech. I think the Galil deserves an A because it is the M4 equivalent basically. Now AK-12, this thing's going down to C. Better than the pump and the floss, but it's going down to a C because I don't find this viable so you can buy attachments simply because the iron sights are ugly. The recoil is insane even with attachments, and it's a 3 tap. That's the only good thing about it if you get really close, if it's a close range rap. But after those 3 or 4 shots that you get off, it is terrible. Not worth it. The AK S tier, best gun in the game, in my opinion. Well, not best gun in the game, but S tier simply because 1 tap headshot and 4 tap body shot, which is really good. M4 I think is better than the AK because the time to kill is insane on the M4 compared to the AK. The amount of times I have had people, when me and my teammate are shooting like at one guy and there's 2 people that peek us with AKs and we just melt them so fast. It's crazy with the time to kill. I've beaten 2 people at once that were both shooting at me with AKs simply because the time to kill, and if you have good movement, it's really good. AUG. Here. C tier because I don't like the AUG so much. Simply because I just don't like the scope that it comes with now. The ACOG I just don't like in general really. Because it makes my frame rate feel bad. I don't know if that's really happening, but it's just not my favorite. Even on PC, it's just not my favorite. The G3, it's getting there. It's starting to grow on me, but I don't like it as much because it is a 5 tap and it feels slower than the AK. I doubt it is. I actually bet it is faster shooting than the AK. It's just something in my mind hates it that much because it feels slow, but I doubt it is. The M16, it's going same with the AUG. I just don't like it because I don't like burst guns. They kind of just piss me off for some reason. PKM, it's going B tier there because $3,500 for for a LMG for T side just isn't my favorite. I mean, it's good, but it's one tap headshot, 5 tap body shot. I think it's the best LMG at this point, and then I think this LMG is worse simply because it doesn't have that one tap headshot. 50 cal obviously going S tier. That's just the 50 cal's good if you can hit your shots. I like to use a 50 cal often. I've got aces with them. I got 4Ks with them. Got 3Ks with them pretty often in real matches. They just aren't my favorite simply because if I'm fighting 2 people at once, I'm gonna die most likely. Because even though I can reload and get another round in there and get back on target in less than 2 seconds, I'm still dead faster than that usually. So it's just kind of annoying. Unless you're playing cover or there's only one person pushing you at a time. That's the only reason I can see it being viable. So that is my tier list. I'm going to peace out. See you boys.